Warning, warning, warning! This might shake up your belief system. This is how successful people think. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and let's dive right into this video. If you have not subscribed yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button right over there and hit the bell notification because that's what's going to notify you for new videos. Subscribe, bell notification. Let's get right to the video. Number one, successful people are not busy making a living. They're busy making success. And what happens to most people is their trouble is they get stuck on trying to make a living. And that's what I did for most of my life. I spent the vast majority of my career trying to make a living. So I was looking at what's going to make me an extra $10, what's going to do this, what's going to do that. And I was so focused on the short term for the next 30 days that my consciousness was starting to shrink. And the field of possibilities that were truly available to me became so small. It wasn't about what are my huge goals and what do I have to do, even if it means sacrificing in the short term to delay instant gratification to get to the future, to get to the larger goal. Instead, I was so focused on just trying to make a living that I was in an energy of scarcity. Now you see this all the time is people are stuck in an energy of scarcity because they're only looking at the next 14 days. They're only looking at the next 30 days. And they get trapped inside of this box because our culture has convinced us to focus just on instant gratification. And so what occurs is 9 out of 10 people are dying with less than $10,000 and virtually no financial assets. About 75% of people are living from paycheck to paycheck, and almost every single person is in credit card debt. So the average human being is not in a good financial position at all. And so what begins to occur is when we're in a place that isn't where we want to be, we take whatever we can get. Now, that's not the problem in and of itself, taking what we can get. But what begins to occur is we forget about the big goals. So what I invite you to do, if you haven't yet, is what can you do? Write out on a piece of paper. What can you do over the next 30 days to start to prepare yourself to be successful? Meaning, what are your goals too? Write out your goals. What are your goals? So that over the next 12 months, it will be the best 12 months of your life. If you accomplish this, and this, would that make it the best 12 months of your life? Now, what begins to occur is people are so bogged down with everyday life that they aren't even looking at those bigger picture questions. They're too focused on just trying to get by. Now, you may need to do that right now. You may need to focus on just getting by. But if that's all you're doing, then you're going to stay exactly where you are. When you get in a consciousness of just looking at how do I make a living, how do I get by right now, then you're in an energy of I do not have, I need to figure out how I'm gonna be able to get by. And the law of attraction says like attracts like. So you're programming your subconscious for not enough. So ask yourself the question, over the next 30 days, what would you need to do to prepare yourself for those larger goals? So write down your big goals and ask yourself, what would have to happen over the next 12 months for it to be the best, most successful 12 months of your life? And how can you start working on those things now? You may be in a situation you do not want to be in, but how can you start to prepare for the future? For example, my now wife, when she was folding clothes at Brandy Melville at a clothing store, that she didn't like the job, and she was working 50 hours a week, and she was traveling an hour each way in Los Angeles traffic to get there, and she didn't like it. She did not want to be there. She was so focused on making a living that she was tired all the time, so she hadn't considered, how do I even break out of this situation? And so I said to her, look, you need to start treating your job like an investor. Meaning, You have this place giving you money, and the only way you're ever going to leave this place is if you put yourself in a positive financial position. But what tends to happen is when we're busy making a living, we spend every single solitary penny that we have, and people say, well, I don't have any money to save. Well, start with $1. You have to start building the mental habit of paying yourself first. So what my now wife did, she started putting away as much money as she could. She started cutting things out. She wasn't going to buy shoes anymore. She wasn't going to go buy clothes anymore. She wasn't going to do any of these things anymore. She quit spending money on eating out. She started doing whatever she could to start to put money away. That is the energy of going from trying to make a living to trying to make a fortune, or trying to make a fantastic life. And that's what successful people do. They don't have blinders on the future. Most people have a very compartmentalized consciousness that's focused just on right now. So if you want to get to where you want to get, you might have to do what my wife did. She started putting money away, and eventually she got to a point where she had 1 month of savings. Like 1 month, if she quit that job, she'd have 1 month of savings. Then she got to 2. Then she got to 3. She got up to 6 months, and then she quit. So once she got to the 3-month mark, she went to part-time, from full-time to part-time. And then she started working on her art. Then at 6 months, she quit altogether, and she had the financial position to go head in on her art business, which ended up making her more money in 1 month than she was making in a year. So you have to look at your future. If you're stuck making a living and you're just looking at the short term, you're never going to be able to get out of that situation. Number 2, you have to find something to live for. You have to have a sense of urgency. I just, actually about 30 minutes ago, just got off a coaching call with Eric Thomas. He's one of the most successful motivational speakers in the world. And I was telling him, hey, here's where I'm at, all these things. And he said, you need a new sense of urgency. You need to renew your sense of urgency in your life. Now, what begins to happen is we can't find inspiration to continue to stay mentally focused, to get up, to get the things done, to stay focused on what it is we're trying to accomplish, because we don't have something to live for. So my question to you is, what do you have to live for? Like, what's that driving force? I could tell you mine. My driving force right now is my wife and I are going to have a family pretty soon. And I want to be in a position when we have a family that as the baby's born, I can actually spend a lot of time literally not working. And I want to be in a place where we're in a level of financial freedom at an all new level, where when my kids are growing up, I can take them to school. I can be there for them. I'm actually there when I'm there. Most parents aren't there when they're there because they're so stressed about money. They're there with them, but they're really not there because they're in their head. I want to be there. I want to be able to truly look my kids in the eyes, my wife in the eyes, and be there for them. I want them to know and not be impressed in the subconscious mind with stress, with my wife and I arguing, oh no, you can't do that, because we're stressed about work, or we're stressed about money. Because obviously when you have kids, it brings a whole new element. Then you're tired, you got all those types of things. So stress, maybe that doesn't exist before it comes out because you're tired. I want to be in this place where we can go do whatever we want, live the life we want. And my wife never has to worry when she's pregnant and she's got the hormones going and all that stuff. We're in a whole new realm of existence. That's my urgency. I want my kid to literally, like, one time I had I heard someone giving a speech, and they were talking about conditioning your children. And this individual wanted to condition their children to be an entrepreneur. And they said that they were taking them to school in the morning at 7:30, and they were driving over a freeway overpass. Freeway was underneath. And their child said, "Daddy, what are all those people doing?" And it was rush hour traffic. And so there was, tens of thousands of cars. And he said, well, they're going to work. And he said, well, why don't you go to work? And he said, I do go to work, but before I had you, I put us in a financial position where I could make sure I'm as present with you as I possibly could. And That doesn't happen very often, and I want that. That's one of my biggest senses of urgency. And you gotta ask yourself that question. That's what Eric Thomas asked me on the call today. And he said, write it down. So as soon as the call hung up, I wrote about it in detail. And so you gotta do that, because if you don't have that sense of urgency, you become complacent. You rest on your laurels. You have good days and you have bad days. You have days where you're there and days when you're not there. So you gotta find something to live for, whatever it is for you, because that's the driving force. That's how you churn up your energy and get a powerful vibration that's gonna allow you to move your life forward. Number 3, successful people know that all success comes from the subconscious mind. If you haven't programmed yourself with proper belief systems, habits, and thought patterns that are conducive for success, you will not have it subconsciously. And that's why it is so important to rewire it. And I do 2 things. I have a success hypnosis I've used for about 6 years now, every day, that rewires my thought patterns and puts me in a position to be successful. It's replacing my thought patterns, my belief systems, which is changing my consciousness and my point of attraction, and it's made me a magnet for fantastic opportunities. You can use it for free. Over 200,000 people from all over the world have used it. It's jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. And then as I started to learn more about neuroscience and psychology, I found that what begins to occur is all of your beliefs around money, all of your beliefs around love, success, happiness, self-esteem, everything. It's wired into the neurocircuitry of your brain. Your brain actually starts to be chemically programmed to the way that you've been programmed. And so it's called Hebb's Law. It says that brain cells that fire together, they wire together. So every time you have a thought like, I'm not good enough, or I'm so amazing, I'm attracting success, any type of thought, money's evil, or I attract money easily, there's no good guys left, all of these types of thoughts, any ones that you have, you fire a brain cell, you fire a nerve cell. And as you have similar thought patterns and similar emotions, it wires together in your brain and it creates your neurocircuitry. And then your brain starts to regularly operate on that frequency. So consciously you may say, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna change my life in this way. But subconsciously, and actually into the neurocircuitry of your brain, it's fundamentally wired to a negative reality that you might not want anymore. I call that your first mind, the brain that's wired the wrong way. And the second mind is the one you've wired the right way. So I developed, with a lot of time and money, we put together a software designed to rewire the brain. And you can demo it for free. I use it every single day. It's right there down below, thesecondmind.com. Right there down below, you can demo it for free, thesecondmind.com. Next, successful people think and know and believe on every fiber of their being that they're as worthy as any person who's ever walked the earth. Why? Because God is in everything. It's in the walls, it's in the light bulbs that are lighting up this video for me to film. It's in the curtains right over here. It's in my cells. It's in you. It's in your brain matter. It's in every part of you. Therefore, you're totally worthy. You've already been blessed. The fact that you're alive, you're worthy of every single thing that you desire. Now, a lot of times the difference between success and failure is people don't believe they're worthy of success. Now you see that in relationships a lot. People sabotage relationships constantly because they grew up believing that they weren't worthy of love, maybe because their parents had a really bad relationship that was very traumatic for the child. So they don't believe they're worthy of love. And they push away the relationships, right? That's like the most basic way that we see that in everyday life. Well, the same thing happens to success. The same thing happens to your success. So comment down below, I am worthy of everything that I desire. Comment that down below. Seriously, comment it down below. You got to drill it into your subconscious mind. This is the only way you're going to retain the information from this video. I am worthy of everything that I desire. Comment that down below and then feel the truth of it. Constantly repeat that to yourself every single solitary day. I'm worthy of everything that I desire. I'm worthy of everything that I desire. And then ask yourself, what does it feel like to feel worthy? Don't just make it intellectual. Get into the feeling, because the feeling is you just being consciously aware of your own vibration. That's all feeling is. When you say, I feel this way, it's you being consciously aware of your vibration. The law of attraction and success says like attracts like. Your energy is going to dictate the situations, circumstances, and life experiences that you attract into your life. When you start to feel worthy, you're going to magnetize situations to you that mirror that self-worth. The type of money you feel deserving of, the type of career you feel deserving of, the type of relationships you feel deserving of. Those things will come to you as your self-worth, self-esteem begins to grow. And the way it's going to begin to grow is right now by you saying to yourself, what would it feel like if I felt worthy? Like, go into your body right now and feel the energy of that. What does worthy feel like? What does it feel like to be good enough? Take a deep breath in right now. Deep breath in, deep breath out. What does it feel like to be good enough to feel worthy of everything that you desire? See, that's what successful people do differently. A lot of times that's the only real difference. They feel worthy of having financial abundance and worthy of having a fantastic relationship. Or if they want a nice car, they feel worthy of it. If they want a nice house, they feel worthy of it. If they only work 4 hours a day, they feel worthy of it. They feel worthy of the clients they get. They feel worthy of the life that they have. Instead of resisting it, they're allowing more abundance from God, from the universe, to flow into their experience. So comment down below, I'm worthy of everything that I desire. So one of the last key things that successful people do, that way they think differently, is they say to themselves, the resources will come when I need them. Now, people that aren't successful say, I don't have the resources, therefore they don't do anything. They wait for the outer things to be perfect, for the ideal circumstances and situations to arrive, and then they say they'll do it. But what happens is they're in the energy of lack and scarcity, therefore they attract more of that same thing, therefore they're in the same position a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, and their life never really changes or gets that much better. But successful people say, the resources are gonna show up. The people are gonna show up. Whatever I need is going to show up. Now, I need to move confidently in the direction of my dreams. I need to control what I can control. The right resources will show themselves forward. That's what I had to do to start to build my career as now someone who publishes with Penguin Random House, the world's largest publisher, and has built an international business doing what I love. I didn't have the money and I didn't have the resources. So what I did, and I couldn't get any publishers to pick me up, so what I did is I self-published my book. I filled my car up with books. I started selling my books out of the trunk of my car. It sucked. It was hard. I got a lot of no's. I got rejected, but I learned how to take no's, how to take rejections. So when somebody gives a negative comment to me on YouTube, I don't care. It's like, you don't know me. It doesn't make me upset. And all of those things back then helped me shape who I am today. And it began by me saying the resources will come, but first I have to get started. Bob Marley said, if you don't start somewhere, you never get nowhere. Comment that down below. You don't start somewhere, you never get nowhere. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. I urge you to use my free success hypnosis every single day to just train your brain to be in the energy of success. You may have negative people around you. You may have negative thought patterns. You may not have a supportive environment, but make your own environment in your mind. It's jakeshypnosis.com, and brainwash yourself for success before the world brainwashes you for negativity. And if you haven't yet, make sure you use our software, the Second Mind. It's life-changing. It's designed to literally rewire the brain. It's free. You can demo it for free. It's thesecondmind.com right there down below. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. Bell notification notifies you for new videos. So if you're new, and even if you're not new, double check you've actually hit the bell notification. Hashtag down below, I think successful. Comment down below, I think successful. My mind thinks successfully. I think of abundance. I'm in the energy of abundance. I'm not going to wait for the resources. I'm going to find my sense of urgency. I have clear long-term goals, and I may not be where I want now, but I'm going to start saving money to put away so I can start to move confidently in the direction of my dreams. That's what it takes to be successful. Start seeing yourself as a successful person. You're worthy of success. If anyone else has success, that means you're worthy of it too. Why? Because really we're all one. We're all connected to God. We're all one and the same. If somebody has something and somebody else is great, you have that same God-given potential and self-worth and opportunity for amazing blessings within you. And that's what life is about, is realizing that you have that that worthiness and that power and that potential within you. So, share this video with someone that digs it. If you dig this, make sure you watch it through. When I find YouTube videos I watch that I like, I watch them through over and over. Why? Because that's how learning occurs. That's how you access the subconscious mind with new information. So, watch this video back through. Use my success hypnosis and the second mind down below. Subscribe. Hashtag down below. I think successful. I think successful. Have a beautiful day. Something fantastic is heading your way. Affirm it right now when this video ends, and I'll talk to you soon.